A note on 7 days to noon. This is a very good, thought-provoking film that is so relevant for the world of today, even if it's many, many decades old. Black and filmed in black and white, about a professor, Wellington, that takes an atomic bomb and threatens London, Great Britain with it. Having said that, we can only think of what can happen in the world of today if a lunatic gets his hand on what it's called a dirty bomb. And alas, this could happen. First of all, think North Korea, which in the past few weeks, months, has been testing on top of the already known nuclear weapons, missiles with an ever longer range, capable, it is said, to reach America. And not only that, but they said they would. It's true. They're so used with lying, and they have such a propaganda machine. We know, we've been through that here, that it's difficult to separate real intentions from propaganda, falsehood, and just a boast to promote the regime and keep the lunatic in power. Because the lunatic is the establishment itself, and the leader, Kim, whatever, Jong-il, I think. And they have miniaturized the nuclear bomb, and they're playing the role of this lunatic professor in 7 days to noon. They even fixed deadlines. By that day we will launch on Guam. Alhamdulillah, this didn't happen. But who knows what the future will say. Then, separate, sometimes there seems to be even a connection with that, because they use rogue individuals and networks of terrorists. They even send a team to kill the brother, the stepbrother, was it, of the leader, the North Korean leader. They sent a team to kill him in Malaysia. And they did that. Termina. Using a chemical agent, by the way. And now we have, on the other hand, ISIS and lunatics like that, trying to produce as much damage as possible. Over the past few days, we had Barcelona and the events following an attack in broad daylight on a pedestrian street, much like the ones in France, in London. But then, for lack of a more deadly weapon, which they want but they don't have, fortunately yet, potolește-te, mă! They were planning to explode canisters with gas. So the quest is there for these criminals and villains. In the film, the professor had been working at the British place where they were building up weapons. In the first place, he thought he will do this because it would help the nation, so to say. But then at one point he's changing his mind and he says, look, these are deadly weapons and they will use to destroy, to kill so many, and I will turn this against them so that they would be peaceful from now on, and they will have to eliminate. So that's the blackmail. He takes a bomb out. He says, I'll place it near the building of the government, and therefore you either stop producing and destroy all these weapons, and that's fine, I will not detonate, or else you decide not to stop producing weapons of mass destruction, so to say, and then I will detonate with consequences. And he doesn't have a point, because indeed, in an ideal world, we would have no weapons of mass destruction, maybe no weapons at all. But it's not the ideal world, and if villains, North Korea for instance, have these weapons, and you have nothing to 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 protect you from, I mean, the nations don't have anything to protect them of the scale, the same scale or more, to protect them from such a mass murderer, he will stop on nothing. He will conquer basically the world, and we will all work in labor camps for the giant North Korean People's Empire or something. And so it's not. He's very wrong. In a way, this reminds one of Inferno. I've seen some of it yesterday, and the day before yesterday actually, and the same thing. There's a man at the start who says, "Look, overpopulation. We're destroying the planet." That's a. The second is a good point, not the former. I mean, former is to some, but not the solution anyway. And we have to stop this, because in this manner we will just have no planet. Humanity will destroy itself, because it will just destroy the environment, the planet, so to say. Climate change is here, so there are real threats and elements. But then he takes it to justify his doctrine. We need to kill half the population, more or less, and then the rest will survive. But if we don't take drastic measure, and in this way, there's a man who is using a virus to, well, save the planet. So, and this is a man who is using, a professor, using or threatening to use a deadly weapon, mass destruction, to save, as he sees. But the problem is that these people are just crazy, mad, really.